everyone. So, real quick, this was not planned, so please bear with my silliness. I wanted to touch base with everyone because, before I fucking knew it, it's like December 19th. And I know that's like a big, like, just you need to pay attention to time again kind of thing. But I guess the thing for me is that I feel myself struggling this year. I really like the Christmas season, but a lot of family issues and things like that have kind of I don't say ruined it for me, but it has definitely put a damper on like the level to which we celebrate. We do things with friends, we watch movies, we do cool stuff like that, but we don't really get a tree because it doesn't fit in our apartment. We don't really do like the big like stuff because a lot of times it's either go to Christmas parties, to which that would be exposure to COVID, or doing the going out caroling because we just don't want to in this area, and just stuff like that. Like that, we just don't do any of that stuff.
I've done some of that stuff when I was a kid, but
yeah.
I can't say I really kept up with any of it, as an adult. But even our tree tends to be my aloe plant with lights on it, because my aloe plant's like quite literally about this big. It's pretty big, and it gets one ornament.
Well, and Tiamat said it in site chat that I think is the important part, and that is, while 2021 has not been necessarily the as bad as 2020, and we'll maybe do a year retrospective at like one of our next streams, or maybe we'll do a New Year's stream. Who knows? We'll see how inebriated we feel like being. But 2021's been a very difficult year because a lot of the things that we knew would come to pass have. We knew that COVID wouldn't get under control. It hasn't. The populace has pretended that it is mostly gone or pretending it's not, and then we continually get new variants, which are causing problems. There's no shortage of cannon fodder for r/ Herman Cain Award because so many people are wanting to fuck around, and then they find out by being on a ventilator.
Yeah.
We're also dealing with something today where the gender critical movement, and I'm going to say it's a failure, but the gender critical movement tried to do a big "we're coming out" party. And while Twitter got more, obsessed with either sports or, politics in the form of, minutiae, it's like they still had the numbers, or at very least the noise, to say something like this, to go out and decide that it was okay to come out as this. This is the equivalent of somebody coming out as like KKK and trying to be proud of that shit. Like, guys, we're not being racist. We're just race realists, said I'm not a transphobe. I'm just gender critical. And we'll get to that when we talk about it. But I guess what I'm leading up to here is the question is, how are you all doing? Because in a lot of ways, this time of year gets really weird. We know from mental health data that like people legitimately struggle more during this time of year. The level of things such as, and again, trigger warning for mental illness, actions involving mental illness, but suicide, self-harm, these things go up. And I guess I want to just check in with our community and ask you, are you doing things that you can to take care of yourself? Are you, connecting with the community when you can? Are you on the Discord so you can, connect with folks there? Are you making regular efforts to be social but still be careful of COVID? How is that all weighing on you now that we're going into like we're ending year 2 in like a month or two and probably going into year 3, right? There's a lot of stuff here. It doesn't escape my attention that a lot of our community are LGBT people. And the simple fact is that those folks are still statistically likely to be marginalized, to be treated terribly, to, as teens, be suppressed, kicked out. There's a story that I need to get more data on, but there's a story in one of the states about a mom who lost, custody of her kids because she let her kid experiment with gender stuff, and the court used that against her. I need to double check all that, but like right now, like,
well, and there's so much family pressure this time of year too, right? Like no matter who you are, there just ends up being a lot of pressure.
Yeah, like there's pressure from the state, there's pressure from relatives, there's the fear of coming out, there's the fear of being out.
Right.
I see people in chat sharing, so I see Life Must Exist says I could definitely be doing more physical activities like stretching. I highly recommend it. We try to when we can and when we feel up to it. Vogerbert said, honestly, I'm not doing that well, but it's mainly because my health is awful. I had to get incompletes in some of my grad school classes. Yeah, and that sucks, Vogerbert. I guess what I would say is just take care of you. I would try not to beat yourself up about things you had to do for your own health. That is not a reflection of you or your intelligence or your capability. It's a reflection of the fact that there is only so much of you to go around.
And I super get having to take incompletes on things. I really, really do. I've had to do it a number of times. You know, it's not the funnest, but at least it does, you know, give you a chance to finish things up at some point. Also, if people need this information, if say you need to withdraw for medical reasons from a semester, there is a lot of schools have a type of thing called a medical withdrawal, I think.
Those can help like a lot.
So I was actually, when I had to file for that, I did get it, and it did make it so that way I didn't have to pay back any of my loans for that, or not loans, but any of my tuition for that semester. And so there is some benefits to looking into that specifically if you are dealing with sudden health issues. Just so people know, that is a thing that is out there. Okay, I didn't know about that until I had to like deal with this stuff, you know.
Yeah. So trying to keep up with chat.
Yeah.
Let's see, we got here. Life Must Exist says, I feel like there's a lot of forces keeping me in place and I'm not fighting back against it enough. I would just ask if maybe the fighting is necessary. Life Must Exist. To some degree, I think there's a tendency for us to engage with things in a way that requires conflict. And I don't know if that's always the case. Sometimes it's about relaxing into what is or what, you know, what things can be. So it's just an FYI. Adria says, my mental health tanked hard last weekend on my birthday. Been there. But I'm doing better now. I'm glad you're doing better. That's really good. Tiamat, our favorite YouTube mod, said, I am tired, capital S, you know, asterisks for days. And to a lesser extent, worried about things. Okay, I can see that. But I've lived through stuff before, and I'm going to continue to do so. Well, we love you, Tiamat, and please take care of you. Brittany says, I feel like there are really high expectations for how Christmas should be. I focus on being there for my friends and family in whatever way I can need. Well, make sure you're there for you too, Brittany. Like, I understand wanting to meet your family where they need, but part of the thing that really sucks about being human is recognizing that not everyone can get their needs met. I'm serious. Like, this is the thing that's why I really dislike utility-based polyamory. The idea that you get your needs met from different people. I hate that idea because it starts to render people or reduce them down to simply utilities, different needs getting met. I think there's a reality to our relationships are touch into very deep parts of us, and some of those are needs, but some even those needs that come from that relationship don't always get met. And this is true just in life as a whole. So I would just say is like, yeah, try to meet them where they are, but also fuck them. Like just say fuck it. Like in a lot of ways, I don't know what your relationship is with your family, but I also think like, yeah, those people don't matter. Not in compared to like your health. If you start getting that rough, then you know that's a thing. Let's see here. VM Draco said, I honest to God feel like I'm going nuts. COVID is bad again. Winter sucks, so my mental health is trash. I feel like I'm the only one that cares. It feels like everyone around me thinks COVID is over and not. It feels so uncertain. I'm starting my first full-time job, though it's $16 an hour, so that's upside. So yeah, I would say just do the best you can. Make sure you get your COVID booster and try to meet your friends and people where they are, and you know, go for walks out in your area. Just a simple walk around the block occasionally to get yourself out from being stir crazy. Like even just basic stuff like that. You know, jump into the server and connect with people and find conversations. That stuff can be really, really helpful. Minerva says that I found out yesterday wall push-ups can help with migraines. At this point, I'm willing to try anything, like a dead chicken and frickin', you know, magic salt. I have a migraine right now. I'm just fighting through it. Let's see here. I have my ups and downs mostly. Thaylera says, some days I tend to not want to leave my room. Others I can go out and do things. Did have one life win this week coming out to my sister as trans, and she was instantly accepting. Fuck yeah.
That's cool.
Based sister. Nice. I've been crying so much lately, Devious. You don't even fucking know. Jesus.
Oh yeah, you're welcome, Gerbits. Yeah, I've had quite a track in time trying to do school, so super get it. Yeah.
It's been a struggle explaining being trans to my parents, but I'm hoping things will improve when I finally go on HRT in January. Yeah, I mean, I guess what I'll say to that is that, there's always good videos like, ContraPoints' work. There's other stuff out there. The other thing I would just say to them is just try to get them to understand that to some degree, there's a way that they can't ever understand this. Like, I'm very, very skeptical of the idea that cis people can ever fully understand the trans experience. In the same way, I'm very suspicious of the idea that a transmasculine individual could understand my experience or vice versa. Right? Like, cis people don't understand the desire to take hormones and make changes to your body.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why anyone would want to be a boy, but I respect it. I don't need to understand it. And I think that's maybe a good thing to give them is maybe they don't need to understand it. They just need to respect it. That you're a woman and this is what your identity is. Right? Sometimes people, in the words of Princess Bubblegum, some people are just built different. We just need to respect it. Congrats on the job. What is a wall push-up? It's exactly how it sounds, Lil. Brittany Dopamine Moves. My mom has made a chart that she has on her printer where she puts all her reminders of my friends and their pronouns. Based mom. That's
really cool.
I don't know if that's like OCD or super cool. I'm going to go with super cool, though. I like that.
No, that is super cool. Because, like, if your kid's got, a bunch of different friends and you're like, wait a minute, they all come over. It can be hard to keep track of their names in the first place sometimes. Because as the mom, you might not see them all the time.
So looking into YouTube chat, we've got Holly Lasco says, my grandmother who never accepted me as a granddaughter, I'm trans. Holly, I'm so fucking sorry about that. That's awful. Yeah, Holly, I feel for you. My grandma didn't ever get to meet me as who I am. She died right before I came out. Brittany, good. You did it right. But Walter says, I've been thinking about taking that option because I'm completely failing at studies and I need to fix some things before I continue. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I would
Is
start...
it Lasco? You guys got to work with me.
Start talking to people if you think that you are gonna need,
Give me pronunciations if you don't want me to butcher your last name. I have ADHD. I skim. I'm sorry.
The more you can start talking to getting the process going.
See, then why didn't they spell it that way?
You and I are like, we're not even on the same wavelength right now.
I'm sorry. Pronunciation corrections are like my fucking bane. I apologize. It's fine, Holly. I apologize for mispronouncing it.
My brain just skipped at a moment. It just skipped over this. I just zoned it out. It went off.
Zena just fucking Dukes of Hazzarded over this topic and was like, Jess is being weird. I'm just going to go over this topic.
Well, again, school really meant a lot to me. I really like that. I really liked doing school, and I really liked my program and my professors, and it really did suck that there was a lot of times where I had to, take semesters off, take incompletes. I had accommodations for migraines, and luckily all of my professors were really great about honoring it. The times that there was 1 or 2 times that I didn't get it honored well, and that's pretty much because the teacher wasn't reading our papers that he was requiring us to write anyways. So,
Yeah.
But by and large, the sooner you can just let people know what's going on with you and that you might be needing this stuff, the better. I definitely recommend just talking to people as much as you can and just being like, hey, I've got some health stuff going on. It's a really easy way to kind of get your professors to see you, as not, a student trying to just, get shit, but also like be like, no, really, like I'm human and this is like a thing going on with me that I can't control. So.
Yeah, Holly, again, apologies. Yeah, the transposing the K and the S thing is definitely like a... Oops. So yeah, I guess like
I don't know, Brittany, I've had the opposite. I mean, I've had both my STEM. It really just depends on the department and, who it is. It's not really anything to do with their subject. So.
Yeah, and I guess the thing I'm trying to get through to people is I really do want you to take care of yourselves. I know this time of year is really fucking hard on people, especially if you're trans. I just spent the last few weeks doing nothing but stare at my bedroom wall, and I only recently managed to kickstart my brain into working again. Yeah, no, Scout, I've definitely been there. By the way, Brittany in site chat is my adopted daughter. FYI, I share part time with their bio mom. Tiamat, because languages. This is the thing that bothers me about pronunciation, is that if you know what I'm talking about, was the pronunciation necessary? I'm serious. Like, God damn it. Yeah, you're welcome, VM Draco. I just wanted to check in with the community. We don't really get a chance to gab with you guys too much. We try to get through things, and we haven't been able to do second streams, which is normally where we get a lot more of the faffing about and video games and that kind of stuff done.
Yeah, that makes sense, Vogerbits. Yeah. Well, and I think we were gonna do a separate segment about some of the health stuff we've been dealing with lately too. So we'll probably fill that in a little bit. Yeah. So. What?
I was gonna say, Tiamat, and I could snuggle the hell out of you, but now is not the time for that either.
So I have suggestions for this time of year. There's a couple things that I do. So here's something that my therapist recommends to me, and that is she notices a lot of good things that if you deal with seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, or even if you don't have a clinical diagnosis and you live in part of the world where the sky is going to go gray forever, okay? Her suggestion to me has always been to start whatever medications or supplements that I need in September, and just kind of get it early. So obviously it's not September anymore, but something to keep in mind for next year. But vitamin D can be really helpful for a lot of that, just because we don't get enough sunlight, so that's a pretty common one here. The other thing that I really like doing is planning extra stuff in January and February. We've got the big holidays. We go from, Halloween's big in October. You've got, the big Thanksgiving stuff in November. December's got, Christmas and, New Year's, right? And so we by the time we get to January, in February, there's just these months of it being gray, depending where you live, or sunny. But still nothing is happening in those. And so really putting in a lot of effort to plan extra things can be really helpful. Plan events with your friends, right? You can plan virtual stuff. You guys can, you could throw a party. If you have places around you that, are COVID friendly that you could go to, be that walks or maybe a zoo, right? You could reasonably stay away from other people and still be walking around, right? That's easy enough. There's lots of things like that, that I think are really, really helpful. So.
And yes, Holly, it is a pretty name and it does mean valley, and Finnish apparently. I did not know that. Nice. Yeah, and I agree with you, Adria. It does feel blah. Things feel very blah right now. I know I've spent a lot of time in bed and tired and dealing with headaches a lot this time because winter is really rough on us.
Yeah.
Zena's been sick for the last 2 weeks with some kind of throat / head condition.
Pick 3 different things and I've got it. It's been weird.
Oregon Crush, I'm glad you found us. Welcome.
Yeah. Well, and feel free, if you need to, the other thing is reach out to your therapist, reach out to your doctor. If you are really struggling in this, reach out to your doctor and be like, hey, let's talk over some options for me, right? Don't forget that those people are there to help you. And, when our mental health sucks, it can feel like it's all inside of our head, but there very well could be other factors going on at the same time that are environmental or, other ways to kind of get help with that stuff.
Yeah. Hi, Joanne King. I see you in YouTube chat. FYI, YouTube chat. The cool chat, the really badass chat, is over in the website chat, which is easily to grab. Just hit !site, and you can, or Tiamat will do it for me. Thank you, Tiamat. That is on our personal website. You can donate there without having YouTube take a cut. You can get a subscription there, which also doesn't require a cut. If you prefer just doing it on YouTube, you're fine too there. But just as an FYI, people, if you're interested in helping us out or just checking out our website, we really appreciate when people do. Nope, it's not the Discord anymore. Angry Literati. We have our own.
Yes.
We have our own website, thanks to the glorious White Nervosa and the generosity of Voosh. But I guess my thought on this, and these are some of my tips, is I think for this time of year, what I would recommend is just trying to connect with people and reach out. Like, I don't think I would have survived this year if I hadn't had the community that we created. Like, I've said this before, but like, I literally made this channel on a whim, because I just needed something, and then I just started throwing money at, like, please make art. I was in a really rough spot back in February, and when I made the channel, I didn't think it would go anywhere. I didn't know if Zena was going to participate. I included them in the art because I thought maybe they would, but I wasn't sure.
Well, there was this weird, like,
in-out thing that I hadn't quite figured out yet.
Yeah, well, I was just made it also when I was really, really sick at the time. So, like, we weren't really sure where my health was going to end up at. It was a lot of scariness at the time, but...
Oh, thank you, Oregon Crush, for the compliment of our hair. Thank you. But yeah, I guess the reason I bring this up is that, like, having the ability to interact with our community and, like, share and spend time with them and make connections to other communities. We just made a connection to Malcolm's community.
I don't know. There's an official one. We found the
not official, but we can fit in their Discord. We went on there. They know we exist.
We found the Discord link because we were like, are there other communities that have more trans mask people? Like where are they? So
we found one.
Sure enough, we found one, and now we're like, oh, there's a lot of people from our server in this one. Oh,
should have just asked our server. But yeah, right? I think I'm in. So we're in Malcolm's. I'm in Celine's. I'm in Demon Mama's, Voosh's, Luxander's, Doe's. Like, we've been trying to make connections. And here's the thing is that one of the reasons I did that is because of one, it's survival tactic for me. You find bigger fish and you make them protect you. Not that they have to, and not that I'm trying to, like, be any kind of manipulative or shitty. It's that.
But when there's rapport with people, it really helps, right?
Well,
when we can reach out, or we just kind of have an idea who people actually are, beyond what their face on a stream is.
Yeah, well, and it's also a thing where, like, TMS says the Romora method. I have no idea what that is. I think for me, the reason I wanted to do that, well, one, these are all people I respect, right? Mm-hmm. I've watched Demon Mama. I've watched Voosh. I've been in their chats. I've done things. And so for me, it was, okay, let's talk about these people on the channel, how it relates to mental health, and if we can get their attention, even better. And that's how we ended up kind of being in this situation where we started making connections. We regularly have, mods from Demon Mama server over talking to us, hanging out with us. It's really, really nice. Oh, the fish that live in sharks' mouths. Yes, that sounds awesome. That is exactly what I do. Nice and snug and cozy. But the reason is also I really like these people and I want to get to know them. And so, like, I don't try to be irritating. I don't try to do the parasocial thing. But I do try to make it known that we're here. We have arguments. We're trying to add positively to the discourse. It's why, if you look back way at the beginning of the channel, the first video we did about RGR and Demon Mama was really fair to both of them. We became less fair to RGR over the time because it seemed like as time went on, the story became more and more clearly in favor of Demon Mama's framing. And so the problem is that, like, it was very easy for me to go, okay, which horse do I back? And that's what we did.
I think I've got a few suggestions as far as...
Yeah, I'll finish my thought.
Yeah.
And so this is my thing is that for me, one of the things that was really healing is reaching out, connecting these communities, making connections, finding people who agree, who want to actually discuss topics, who actually want to come and hang out with us. We've been on several servers before where we would be sitting in a voice chat and nobody would be doing anything. We'd send out, notifications and stuff and we'd get nothing. We get our own server now, and I don't necessarily know if this works for everyone, but like you can, if you're in LiQWYD, you can get on and talk to us. You can get on the voice chat as long as you agree to the terms, because we try to remain connected to the community. We want to have those community types things. And so that's what I just recommend is finding community, doing those types of things. Oregon Crush is a note. The Lily Orchard thing was very much a response on my part to something that I felt was almost like a quasi-professional threat. The issue with that situation is that if you're a 120,000 sub YouTuber and even a fourth of your dumb fans decide to go after somebody, this causes very real harm. So I don't care if people talk shit about me personally. We get comments all the time about my looks and about who I am and yada yada. But when it's actually a threat to like something about my profession, then that's where I'm going to respond hard. And that's why that video stands as a very weird middle ground for me, because on the one hand, it's positive because I'm really glad I did it. It was very much needed. And I think my arguments still stand. On the other hand, I do feel like I was being like a little reactionary because I was angry and upset. And I don't want that to be people's first necessary view of the channel, though I think we've done a lot of good work since then. So that's why the video still stands. It's also the highest viewed channel. So if that's how people come and find us and they stick around, that's great. So that's the kind of background to that. You said you had a couple things?
Yeah. So just as mentioning Discord servers, I know it can be really hard to get to know new servers. And here's some of my thoughts and things that help me. Is one, just post when you can. Lurking is okay, but it won't really get you like noticed or known, or it won't really get you any interaction. And so I think whenever you can, hey, just say hi everyone, how you doing? Or hey, here's my day, or just share something. Hey, this neat thing happened, in my day today, right? And maybe, balance out what you're putting in the venting channels if they have them, or general, okay? Kind of balance that stuff out. But I think just try to make a post, no matter what it is, just saying something. We definitely notice it. Our mods really, and our team, our mods and everybody else really try to be really welcoming. That's our thing. So if we notice somebody says, hello, or, no, we try really hard to respond. And so I think as much as you can, try to be able to respond, see if there are events. If there's a voice channel, try and hop on sometime, And I think just do the best you can to take that first step to make a post, hop onto voice, see what you can do with that stuff. Also, if you guys are on voice or on calls and you're comfortable with it, really cameras really help. It does help give some of that, cues, awareness, personness back into the conversation that, it gives our brains extra stuff to focus on than just a voice. So my suggestion is definitely cameras when possible. I think that definitely helps with connection.
Well, and that's kind of how we want to run our community, right? Like that's the thing is we tell this to our mods, and I would invite anyone that is in our Discord to consider the idea of what would pro-social behavior look like? How do I utilize the benefits of this community and also get the needs that I have? So, Walter, you said, I don't know why I can't do a super chat here when I can do it in DMOMs. You should be able to do super chats. They are on and open.
That's weird. I don't know.
That's weird. If you are needing to donate, though, you can go to streamlabs.com/transgrowtherapist/tip. You can ask a mod in chat to get the link for you. I believe it's just exclamation dono. DONO.
Yeah, the other thing is maybe, pick a couple servers to be really active in. That way you kind of can focus on getting to know like this group of people or that group of people instead of being, across like 10 or 15 servers. Just pick a couple and be like, all right, my focus is going to be really big right here. Okay. And then, later you could always branch out, but that way you get kind of like established, I guess, that. Yeah, I think those are some of my suggestions that help.
Yeah, and I guess I would just say is that one of the things on it, we're still getting some kinks worked out on the Discord. I guess one of the things I would say is that what we're trying to build is a community where there's people coming in good faith. There can be arguments, there can be discussions, and what we're trying to do is allow for people to be able to explore things. I really do think trying to make connections, trying to be pro-social, trying to be of utility to other people, and them doing the same for you. I think that's really the type of things we want to build. And so coming back to this thing of like the holidays fucking suck and they're depressing and awful. I always come back to the same thing I always do, which is having community, having connection. These things matter. The other thing I'm going to add, and this is just going to be like a little tack on at the end, is we do have videos for things if you're struggling. If you're dealing with anxiety, we have a video for the container meditation, which is a thing I walk you through. Consider it like a therapy ASMR. And what it essentially is not that I'm doing therapy, but the thing is that it's a thing that you can use to compartmentalize really disturbing material. We also have the square breathing video, which is also covering stuff. If you're in need of a therapist, like just this stuff is getting too hard. And yeah, therapeutic ASMR. There you go.
We have a video on how to find a therapist.
We have a video on how to find a therapist. And if you're really struggling and you're in chat, all you have to do is put in exclamation crisis, and it gives you all of the suicide hotline numbers.
Yeah.
So we try to have all that stuff available to you.
And definitely, like, do reach out to those too. Like, if you're really like, shit, this is bad, you know, or this is just sucking and I don't know how bad it is, whatever the case may be, like, definitely reach out.
Yeah, Clementina, I mean, that's just kind of how we roll. We try to be of service to people. Yeah, we cover the news. Yeah, we cover some of the drama stuff going on. But this isn't a drama channel. It's a mental health channel. We always try to come from that angle. And this time of year really is weird. And I hadn't really thought about it till we sat down and I went, we're really struggling.
Oh, absolutely. No,
I can only imagine what the rest of...
Yeah. No, I can't say my family stuff is... The holidays are really hard. And, you know, my I don't think he'll care if I say something, but just, I know one of my family members is also kind of taking through a lot of like the old stuff that we've been through, and has been doing that for the last couple of months. So it does, you know, make holidays really hard to kind of go through. Oh yeah, this is all the ways that it sucked in the past. There's been a few conversations like that, and it is a thing, but I know we haven't really had a chance to plan. We were doing Spooky Month 2 and 3. This is Spooky Month 3 because we're going to continue, you know, the spookiness, because we're like, here's the holiday that we like that is always way too busy.
We'll just copy paste it to the end.
So we'll still probably be doing things. We haven't really figured out any events yet, but definitely if you're interested, let us know on the server.
Yeah, please. And we're going to try to get the movies going. We're going to watch, we're probably going to watch in our living room Matrix Reloaded with the Ken Wilber and Cornel West commentary probably sometime this week, if we can make it manage. And then we want to try to get to Matrix Revelations within the next week.
And then there's our other list that includes
Scott Pilgrim. We did watch Hackers on the Fly, but that is actually a current existing commentary. So
that is super good. I love that movie so much. We have Your Name on the list. Hook is on the list. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, because there was the new trailer out, and we were just like, okay, let's go watch it again. It was good.
This movie's a fucking banger.
So, you know, there's lots of things to be excited about. And we really like doing movies. Those are really super fun. So, by the way, if you want some way to come and hang out, like, keep an eye out for the movies.
Yeah, please. And so for those who don't know, our Discord is organized into the object classes for SCP, Secure, Contain, Protect. And those are the main ones that you guys need to know about are Safe,
and
Euclid, and there's Keter, but Keter specifically for our friends. Safe is for coming in, talking about very general things, probably not giving up a lot of personal information, but generally trying to interact. We're always trying to get new channels in there so you guys have more room to talk and discuss things. We then have Euclid. We're currently setting up a form process for people to apply. The reason for that is that's where discourse is. 2 words, disc, horse. And the reason for that is if we're discussing something that's kind of contentious, like gender or the RGR DOE stuff or whatever, that's where that stuff goes, because then it can get a little heated. Then it can get a little...
well, there's a higher level of expectations of...
Correct.
Of people as well. This is like, hey, you eating out of the server just because we got into an argument. Yeah, about that. That's not the kind of, community that we want to foster. We would rather have hey, can we actually, figure out some resolution or, learn about where our limits are and step out of situations when we need to, right? That's the kind of, when we have conflict, those are the kind of things that we want to foster. So, application is, a thing. There's just more there.
Philo in YouTube chat said, I just came across your channel a few weeks ago, and these vids have been pretty pleasant to watch. Keep up the good work. Absolutely will. Thank you.
Yeah.
I will remind you guys, after this segment, though, we are going to then close YouTube chat. You guys are still going to be able to chat in there. I just won't be able to see it because we can't keep track of two of them.
Yeah.
So just FYI. So if you want to get on the other, go to the actual the chat that's on screen. The link is in the YouTube chat. But with that said, I think that's everything. If we think of anything else, we'll do it. But otherwise, I think that pretty much covers this segment.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, hopefully this is useful to somebody.
Hope you're all doing okay. Take care of you.
Yeah. We love you guys, okay? Mm-hmm. See you in the next one. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, consider donating to us. You can support us on our website, transgirltherapist.org. You can also help us on our Patreon, link below, or you can become a member here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching.